Your turn.
What do I say?
Ciao ragazzi.
Oh, ciao ragazzi.
Ciao tutti, sono
Ciao
Rose.
bella.
Ciao bella, questo è rosa.
Wow.
Questo è grey. Yeah, so today I invited my friends Rose and Gray to talk about our experiences in our past relationships and the things that we wish we've done better.
Or things that we learned and 都掉进同样的坑里。
Maybe first of all, what's the longest you guys been?
About 4 or 5 years.
Me nearly 6 years.
Wait, I'm the longest. 5.5. So
Come on.
yeah, you're the winner here. But with my first love, I knew that
When was it?
university.
A university was your first love.
Yeah, until 18, I felt like a child.
You?
20? Yeah.
The first?
Yeah.
I started really early, second year of my middle school. But the first serious relationship was my parents are watching, so Are there a lot of things that you wish that you've done better or you haven't done or
I think I can say one point that most girls and actually guys will be able to relate, letting go of control and understanding that you don't own your partner and no one owns each other in this relationship.
Oh yes.
You know, checking on each other.
Yes.
Where are you when you're coming back? Send me proof, send me this. Like, I need to know this, your schedule, this. Who are you meeting? Are there going to be any girls? How many girls are there? Are they your classmates?
It's such a bad habit, actually.
Yeah.
Like,
Have we done it? Have you done it?
No.
yeah, I did. In that case, you're not only taking away his life, but also yours.
But there's always a point when you feel a little insecure in your relationship. It just happens inevitably. And during those times, I feel like you start, pressuring your partner to update you everything that happens in his life. And I feel like instead of helping to get out of this insecurity in a relationship, it only deepens the insecurity because the partner can sense it.
When you feel like you're controlling someone, you thought that you have the power over him, but actually it's the opposite.
It's the weakness, really.
You thought that you knew everything about him, but you never knew if it's the fact or it's something that he made up.
Exactly. I feel even if you knew something, you can't prevent things from happening if it's meant to happen.
He's not gonna not do something because you control him.
Yeah.
He's only not gonna do it because he doesn't want to do it.
Exactly.
You're insecure about yourself, so I think it's more like, how do I work on myself?
I wish I didn't fall in love with a fantasy that I created for myself on another person.
I did that.
The thing that you fall for is the imagination, not the actual person.
Yeah.
Especially when you really want things to work.
There are already signals that say something about this person. For example, if he has trashy friends, then he's not going to be a good person. If he doesn't reply to your messages, he doesn't care.
I think a lot of girls try to justify this like, oh, maybe he's just busy.
Being busy only depends on how he prioritizes things. When someone does something that hurts you, no matter like if he did it on purpose or not, it just means that he doesn't care how you feel. So stop making excuses for him.
Accept the reality.
对，你总有一天会发现这个真相的。The longer it lasts, the more painful you're gonna feel after that.
So see the person as who they are.
Don't put a filter on him.
Or her.
Oh, yeah.
We all be inclusive here.
Know the other person's love language. So there are 5 different love languages: acts of service, words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, and what's the other one? So there are
Quality time.
One of the main difficulties that I had with my ex was that we spoke different love languages. So I'm more of like a physical touch, words of affirmation kind of person, and he's more of like an act of service and gift kind of person. So I feel like I'm expressing my love verbally to him a lot, but he doesn't reciprocate. Then I feel like, oh, he doesn't love me. No, but that's not how he shows his emotion, right? He shows his love by doing things for me, by giving me gifts.
Oh, that's better.
Or spending time with me. I think deep down it's more like listen to the other person, like listen to what their needs are, instead of thinking like, oh, I think you would like this.
Me and my ex, we also spoke really different languages. I just realized it.
Like right now?
Yeah, because I didn't know about it.
So people have different ways of giving love and also receiving
Yeah.
love. So receiving and giving love can be completely different love languages.
Alright, another thing I've learned in my 5-year relationship. Don't expect another person to read your mind.
Yeah, it's
Or
very true.
read your mental state, or read your even like physical state, because no one out there really can read you unless it's communicated.
Let alone if you're faking your emotions. Like,
Oh,
because
yeah.
when girls are angry, we don't show that at all.
Yeah, like it's like what's wrong, and you're like
Over it.
nothing. It's all good.
Yeah,
And then like no, clearly something's wrong. No.
that's called passive aggressive. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
And I think at that moment you can feel like, oh, he really doesn't care about me. But no, he just really doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So now I tell him, instead of saying, it's all good.
Yeah.
I just say, talk about this later.
Yeah.
But I just don't leave it behind.
Wait until you come down. Say like literally how you felt without blaming on the other person.
The relationship has to be equal. Both parties should bring something to the table. You have to be independent and both bring values to the relationship.
That's how attraction functions.
That's why I think the relationship I had with my ex-boyfriend was not healthy, because I felt like he was the one that was bringing more to the relationship. I feel like I've learned a lot from him, but I feel like I didn't have anything to offer him. So I think that's when the dynamic of the relationship changed. You know, it's kind of weird. I feel like I'm relying on him.
There's this kind of mindset, and there are also people teaching girls how to make guys do things to you, not doing anything yourself.
I think that's manipulation.
No one's dumb.
Don't play game.
Don't play game. That's the dumbest thing ever.
But I think like a relationship, the way it functions, it's about giving and receiving, you know? A lot of the times you have to give without expectations to receive, and expectations are disappointment in disguise.
When you have expectation, clarify ahead of time and see if the other person is okay with it.
Do it just because you want to do it. Once you've done it, you've accomplished the task, and then you're happy about it. For example, I remember in my last relationship, and he was in Sydney, I was in China, there were some problems between us. The only thing I wanted to do was to see him. So I just immediately bought a ticket like next weekend, flew to Sydney to see him. I knew like this might not solve the problem between us. I might like even see him and get in a big fight, or see him like in a situation that I don't want to see. Or he's not gonna appreciate it, but I didn't care. I did it because I wanted to, and I'm never gonna regret it. Like 10 years after, this is your life, your love. Just do it for yourself, not for anyone else.
Alright, another thing that I think I've learned is don't depend your happiness on your partner. I've met actually a lot of single girls who constantly tell me, oh, I'd be so much happier if I got a boyfriend and if I was in a relationship. And I'm like, oh my god, like there's so much pressure for the relationship, you know, to think that the guy is meant to bring you some kind of happiness into your life. I do think that relationship, a good, healthy relationship, is a very big component of a happy life. But this shouldn't be the source of happiness. You need to accept that there's going to be times where you feel unhappy too, and that doesn't mean that it's the end of the relationship or that relationship sucks, you know? So I think you really have to be happy yourself to begin with in order to have a good, happy relationship. But I also want to say this, that relationship shouldn't make you unhappy. If you do feel unhappy within the relationship, you need to start looking for reasons and signs why you feel that way.
In that way, maybe you can find some root in yourself.
Yeah.
Because usually what makes you happy is never the other person but yourself. It's always yourself. I used to feel really insecure in a relationship. If he talks to other girls, or like he's being really busy with his stuff and not paying attention to me, like I feel really angry. But you need to know why you're angry. Why do you need that much attention? Growing up as the biggest kids in the family, and you know, I felt ignored for the most of the time. So that's why I always want like as much as attention from the other person as possible. So you just trade back to your like childhood, your growth. In that way, you get to know yourself better and you grow in this relationship. That's the most important thing to do. So now I just don't care if anyone else gives me any attention. I give enough attention to myself.
She thinks everybody's looking at her anyway, so.
I never said that. I remember there was a time that I was feeling so lonely, empty, and helpless. In Shanghai, like after the breakup, I was like desperate for someone else. And I remember like a friend of mine just told me that you are a complete person yourself. You don't need anyone else to fill you.
Like a sexual joke, but yeah.
That's what she said.
If you feel like there's a hole in yourself,
That's true.
You mean to fill the void?
yeah.
Maybe that's what it would.
Fill the holes and void.
Never like have the relationship as the center of your life, right? Like always have a lot of other things going on. Because this is just part of your life. This is not your life. I think it's always just have like a good life, you know?
Yes.
Good life.
Have a good life.
Yeah, with or
Balance.
without. Yeah, balance.
Yeah.
With or without.
It's not just one thing taking
Yeah.
over everything.
Yeah.
Like your career shouldn't take over your entire schedule and life and day and everything. It's like everything in moderation. That's the only way things can work.
Use your time and energy on good things, on thinking how to make your life better together.
Maybe one of the very few things you can do is to work on yourself, right? Like, because we can't control things outside of ourselves. So
Yeah, when you love yourself, person who can sense it will come to you at the right time.
You have a good energy.
I
Love
know.
yourself, and yeah,
When
see you
they-
guys next time. Hope you all have a really great memory.
Oh, what?
What were you expecting me to say?
I was thinking, where's this going?
Bye.
Ciao. Follow us, click the like button, subscribe.